We are so excited that y'all are here this morning. It's such a joy to be with you today at our Alumni Awards presentation and Alumni Association update. I am Nancy Ralston, Assistant Director of Alumni Relations. Today's event is dedicated to honoring alumni whose achievements and commitment exemplify the very best of Queens. Through decades of change in the world, in higher education, in our communities, one thing remains constant: your dedication to learning, growth, and making a meaningful difference. You are living examples of resilience and lifelong curiosity, showing us that excellence is not simply a destination, but a way of engaging with the world as it evolves. It is my great pleasure to introduce Jesse Curitan, President of Queens University of Charlotte. As a Queens alumnus and longtime supporter of the university, Jesse brings a deep understanding of our values and mission. His leadership during this time of transition ensures that Queens remains focused on academic excellence, institutional growth, and meaningful opportunities for every Royal. Under his guidance, we will continue to build on our proud traditions while embracing the innovations necessary to thrive in the years ahead. Please join me in welcoming President Curitan to the stage.
Nancy, thank you so much, and thank you for what you and your team are doing this weekend. I don't know how many of you have been participating in all the events, but it's been quite the week. So applause for the team and pulling this off. So good morning, Royals, and most importantly, welcome home. I recently stepped into this role as acting president, a journey that for me began years ago as a student here at the McCall School of Business. Navigating these past 6 months has been a blend of significant challenges and immense rewards, but more than anything, it has been a profound homecoming that reminds me why this university matters. Every day, I am moved by the sheer caliber of our students. I see the very best of Queens and their drive to learn, their will to grow, and their passion to succeed. But I also know that this excellence isn't accidental. It is fueled by the tireless dedication of our faculty and the enduring loyalty of alumni like all of you. Today, I am speaking as a fellow Royal, as someone who sat in the same classrooms, walked the same paths, and cares as deeply about Queens as you do. And soon, we will be embarking on a journey that will create new opportunities and academic pathways, like a law school, that will serve our students for generations to come. But our ability to keep this vision alive depends on you. I know the temptation during a time of change is to wait and see. But our students, they can't wait. They are in our classrooms, they are in our labs, and they are working every single day to be the best that they can be. They are navigating this transition alongside us, and they deserve the same world-class experience that all of us had. Your support today provides the stability they need to focus on academic achievements rather than the headlines. By supporting the Queens Fund now, you are ensuring that the students of today doesn't get lost in the planning for tomorrow. If you have any doubts about our strengths during this transition, I'd like to share some highlights from our campus so you can appreciate the momentum we are building. This is proof that we aren't standing still, but we are accelerating. Before I get into the academic athletic growth, I want to share some highlights from our Student Affairs Department. Dr. Amber Stack returned to Queens last March as our new Vice President for Student Affairs and Dean of Students, and has really led the charge in strengthening our students' experience. And in just 1 year, the Student Affairs team has made extraordinary advances on campus so that our students can feel connected and truly have the best experience possible. They spent their time speaking and, more importantly, listening to our students and translated their feedback into action. Our students told us that they wanted an easier way to be connected, So we rolled out Queens Engage, an app that puts the entire campus in the palm of a student's hand, from club meetings to latest events. We're also seeing a massive resurgence in community building through fraternity and sorority life. Last fall, we celebrated our largest recruitment in 5 years. We are expanding our MPHC presence, and I'm happy to report reopening vital communications with our men's fraternities. To lead this specific charge, we welcome back alumni Harper Baldwin, who returned in August as Assistant Director of Student Engagement. And if you've walked through Tressler lately, I'm sure you've noticed some improvements. New casual seating and TVs that have made it an inviting space for students to connect. We've even brought the same energy into the resilience of our residence halls with new recreational equipment and pool tables. Our students told us they wanted more to do on campus. We heard them. We've designed specific funds and raised funds for nighttime and weektime events, and we've created energy on the campus unlike we've ever seen before. But at Queens, it's just not about the education or just about socializing. It's about living our motto, not to be served, but to serve. This past January, our Royal Week of Service proved that the Sid Men spirit is stronger than it has ever been before. Over 200 Royals came together to make more than 800 sandwiches for Roof Above, 200 snack bags for Salvation Army, baby bags for Ronald McDonald House, and blankets for Project Linus. Now, if this is not legacy in action, I don't know what is. Finally, we are looking to launch 2 pivotal cohort programs in fall 2026. Our Queens Leadership Scholars will focus on high-level leadership development, while our Sid Men Scholars will be dedicated in community service. These aren't just new titles, they are a return to core components of the Queens experience, providing students with the scholarships, skills, and support they need to lead their lives of meaning. Now, as many of you know, my journey at Queens was shaped by the McCall School of Business. So I may be a little biased when I say what is happening right now is really exciting. This past November, we launched the Center for Leadership and Executive Education, CLEAD, led by Dr. Will Sparks. By consolidating our leadership institutes, Queens is now the premier destination for non-degree executive education here in our Charlotte region. When Charlotte leaders want to level up, they're now coming to us. This spring, a team of McCall MBA students are working on a live consulting project for Novant Health. These aren't practice cases. They are providing real, actionable solutions for Novant's administrative team. This is elevated, engaged learning at its finest. It is why a McCall degree continues to hold such immense value in the marketplace. We're also bringing the gap between the classroom and the boardroom like never, ever before. We're closing that gap. We've expanded our executives in residence program so that every single MBA core class now has a dedicated senior leader partnering with our faculty. To the advisory board members in the room who helps us build these bridges to the Charlotte business community, we want to thank you. You are the reason why our students have a clear pipeline to the top. Lastly, we're in our final stages of earning International Coaching Federation accreditation for our Executive Coaching Certificate program. This is a globally recognized standard for professional coaching that we've worked hard to achieve. From the business school, we've moved to the heart of our liberal arts tradition, the College of Arts and Sciences, and let me tell you, the news coming out of this college right now is nothing short of just simply world-class. Our choral and performing arts programs are reaching new heights. In the fall, we witnessed a stunning interdisciplinary production of Dido e Ninas, a massive collaboration between our choir of the North Carolina Baroque Orchestra and our own student graphic designers. And we aren't just performing the classics. Right now, our rehearsal halls are vibrating with the sounds of world premiere, our students are preparing Margaret Bond's musical, Bitter Laurel. This is a piece that has never been performed before. Think about that. The world will hear the music for the first time right here on our campus performed by our Royals. Off campus, our Prayer History Fellows recently traveled to the South Carolina Lowcountry to engage with the Gullah Geechee community, gaining a first-hand perspective on cultural heritage that no textbook can provide. On campus, our student-led research journal, Quest, just published its 9th volume of undergraduate scholarships. And as we speak, our students are prepping for Model NATO in DC and the NCICU Ethics Bowl in Raleigh. We are currently, as you probably know, the 3-time defending champions in the Ethics Bowl, and we have every intention of bringing home a 4th consecutive win this weekend. No, let's applaud that. Agree with you. No, thank you for that. I also have to highlight our MFA in Creative Writing program. This program is a bridge between Charlotte and the world with residencies stretching from Buenos Aires to Rio de Janeiro. The caliber of talent we've attracted is staggering. In just the last 6 months, our faculty, including the likes of U.S. Poet Laureate Ada Lemon and Robert Bolito, have published 8 major books. Our alumni are following suit, winning prestigious national awards and proving that the Queen's voice is loud and clear in today's literary world. Finally, our faculty are spreading our royal reputation across the globe. Dr. Dixie Abernathy was recently invited as a keynote speaker at an international conference in Malta. Dr. Jennifer Piaz-Pick has released a new album with her ensemble, Whistling Hens. And Professor Mike Worth has published a breathtaking new book titled Hindor Olam, reimagining the Genesis narrative through the original vibrant artwork. These aren't just academic updates. This is evidence that the intellectual and creative pulse of Queens is stronger, louder, and more global than ever before. Of course, in a world that seems more divided than ever, the work being done in the Knight School of Communication is absolutely critical. Our faculty are not just teaching communications, they are defining it, publishing at the highest levels of their fields. And to stay ahead of the curve, we've recently expanded our team to include a new assistant professor specifically focused on health communication, a field that has never been more vital to our society than now. We're also being incredibly intentional about how we prepare our graduate students for the real world. We have reimagined our MA in communications into 4 distinct specialized pathways. These aren't just academic tracks, they are career blueprints. Whether it's digital leadership or health advocacy, these pathways are designed to help our students align with global trends and, quite frankly, dominate the modern job market of today. We've also launched a powerful partnership with Atrium Mercy Hospital. This past fall, our students worked side by side with Atrium staff to develop a real-world patient education program. This isn't just classwork, it's important information that improves the health and wellness of our community. And this April, that collaboration moves to an even larger stage. We'll be hosting a major health and wellness summit right here on campus in Charlotte. Our Presbyterian School of Nursing is providing that healthcare and technology go hand in hand by taking training into the future with virtual reality or VR. Our nursing students are now using VR headsets to simulate high-stakes medical scenarios. This gives our future healthcare providers a safe, immersive environment to hone their skills and build their confidence before they ever step into the real world of clinical settings. We're currently developing a virtual nursing certificate specifically for hospital-based RNs. This meets a critical emerged need in modern healthcare and ensures that Queens remains a leader in how care is delivered in the digital age. Now, I know we have some sports fans here in the room. And if you haven't been checking the scores lately, You're going to want to hear about all of this. Our Royals have been having an amazing year. Before I talk about the scoreboard, though, I really want to talk about the classroom. Our student athletes, unlike ever before, has had the highest grade point average ever in the history of Queens. How good is 3.48 grade point average for our sports team? This really tells you everything that you need to know in regards to the character of our Royals and why our student athletes are so powerful. This season also marks monumental milestones. The first time of the NCAA-sponsored sports here are fully eligible to compete in the Division I National Championship. The wait is over. We're on a mission, and we want to bring home some titles, and I'm sure we're going to do that. And listen, the results are already coming in early. The men's basketball is preseason is favored to win the ASUN with our own Chris Ashby named Preseason Player of the Year. How good is that? Men's soccer stunned number 14 Clemson with a victory and tied against number 19 Duke. How good is that? And our men's rugby team fought their way all the way to the NCR Division I National Championship, and our triathlon team finished fourth at the NCAA D1 National Championship as well. But listen, I saved the most exciting news for last. I am thrilled to share with you that our one and only alumni, Mystique Rowe, how about Mystique? Class of 2016 has officially been named to the Team USA Skeleton Team competing at the Olympic Winter Games in Milano Cortina. How good is that, guys? We're so excited about that. So think about that. From the classroom of Queens to the world's biggest stage, Mystique is the ultimate example of what a Royal can achieve. I know every person in this room will be looking forward to watching her and watching her bring home the gold for Queens. Everything I've shared with you today, from the VR labs, nursing, to the world-class stages and arts, is just a glimpse into the life of our university here today. I hope you can see, across every school and every department, we are intentionally re-envisioning what it means to be a Royal, to meet the needs of our students and the community, and to be able to share our future together. My fellow alumni, I know that change can be a lot to process, but I want to leave you with this certainty. Our mission at Queens is safe. Our values are firm, and our future is brighter than we have ever seen it before. Go Royals and enjoy your day.
Thank you, President Cureton, for sharing these important university updates with us. It truly is an honor to celebrate the incredible achievements of our Queens community. Our university has a proud tradition of rising to meet the challenges of today's world. Lorianne is with me on stage, and she's going to assist with presenting today's awards. This year, we're going to start with the second annual 10 Under 10 Awards. This award recognizes recent undergraduate alumni who, within just 10 years of graduation, have already made a significant mark on their professions, communities, and beyond. Their accomplishments reflect the values and spirit of our university, proving that the impact of a great education extends far beyond the classroom. Each of our 10 Under 10 heroes was asked to respond to a question in advance, reflecting on their journey, their work, and the impact they're making. As we introduce each recipient, we'll share their response with you as a way to spotlight their voice and celebrate their story. So without further ado, let's meet our class of 10 Under 10 award recipients. I will call them each on the stage to accept their award. Lawrence Bell, a proud alumnus of Queens. Class of 2016, Lawrence Bell began his professional journey at ESPN, where he gained invaluable experience supporting major college sporting events nationwide. Today, Lawrence serves as an account director at Octagon, a global sports and entertainment marketing agency. In this role, he brings global sports partnership to life, including Olympic and Paralympic sponsorship initiatives valued at over $400 million. Lawrence is deeply committed to giving back, serving as a mentor and an advocate for young professionals, and intentionally paying forward opportunities to help shape the next generation of sports industry leaders. So this was Lawrence's question: what is the one piece of guidance you wish you had heard sooner? And his response was, asking for help doesn't make you less capable. It means you are thoughtful. It can become common early in your career journey to put unnecessary pressure on yourself to prove that you know everything, when the truth is, there is no prize for rushing. I need him to come talk to my class. My advice to others, no matter the starting point, run your own race at your own pace. Make sure you are asking why with everything you do. Be patient, be intentional, and you'll do just fine.
Sean, my friend, failed to mention, she's a two-time alum herself. So we're happy she's here today. I'm Lorianne from the Advancement Office. Thanks again to our team who's organizing much of this today. Let's get on to the good stuff. All right, William Brown, class of 16. William is a Charlotte native, not many of those around, who began his collegiate journey at Belmont Abbey before transferring to Queens, where he earned a bachelor's degree in communication in 2016. Following graduation, William launched his professional career in the healthcare industry before transitioning to commercial banking. Yeah, where he has built a strong reputation for leadership, client service, and community engagement. He spent 8 years with Bank of America. Is this Jesse's bio? Achieving the distinction of Pinnacle Banker, and was deeply involved in supporting clients and community initiatives throughout the Charlotte region. William currently continues his banking career with U.S. Bank, where he remains committed to helping individuals and businesses achieve long-term financial success. So what was William's question? What did success mean to you at graduation, and how has that definition changed over time? His answer: after graduating, I saw success as titles and achievements that proved my hard work, but experience and community changed that. As a banker and a volunteer, I learned success is quietly helping others grow and building trust. That's where he learned that here, right? Now I measure success by relationships and impact, being a resource and an advocate. Success is a daily practice of giving back, which is more fulfilling than I imagined.
Lauren Cassidy, class of 2019, is an interdisciplinary artist and music therapist based in Philadelphia. She received her Bachelor of Music in Music Therapy from Queens and has been a music therapist board certified since 2020. Since graduating, Lauren has primarily worked with older adults in skilled nursing and hospice settings, but she now works as a music education administrator and teacher. Her visual and musical works have been featured in numerous galleries, publications, and museums, including the Woodmere Art Museum and the Smithsonian-affiliated Anne Marie Sculpture Garden. Her first solo exhibition, Transfigurations: The Intersection of Art and Music, opened at Da Vinci Art Alliance in Philadelphia in 2024. Lauren is currently participating in the Future Continuous Show at the Center for Emerging Visual Arts and is a recipient of the Illuminate the Arts grant. Lauren's question was, can you share a challenge that taught you a lesson that you carry with you today? Her response: I started my healthcare career during the pandemic, which was a challenging time to enter the field. I worked with older adults in assisted living facility, and for months I spent more time with my patients than their own families could. Many of my patients died during that time, and as terrible as it was, I learned the value of channeling grief into the arts. I used COVID data to create a piece of music and art, and in 2024, this interdisciplinary piece was shown in an art exhibit curated by the Smithsonian. This showed me that we have an extraordinary power to rebuild after our world breaks down. Congratulations.
It's just getting better and better. Danielle Coney, class of 2016. Danielle is an international auditor in the banking industry where professional accomplishments and community involvement over the past decade reflect a deep commitment to excellence and service. Originally from Augusta, Georgia, she came from a military family that believed in serving and giving back. Danielle has always lived a life of service, whether it be the American Red Cross, Toys for Tots, the Crisis Ministry, or even joining the illustrious Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, which provides service to all mankind. Danielle completed her master's in accounting and was promoted to vice president at Truist Bank and received her company's Rising Star Award. Danielle's question: how do you believe ambition with well-being, especially during a demanding season of your career? How do you balance that? Her response: throughout my career, I've learned that ambition without well-being isn't sustainable. I treat my energy like a resource. During my demanding seasons, I set clear priorities, realistic boundaries. When it comes to rest, and give myself grace and permission to slow down and take a break from areas that are not critical. I take time to spend with my family, incorporate a healthy lifestyle with food and exercise, and days to myself to rest my energy. I'm very intentional when it comes to taking a rest so I can show up at a high level in my demanding season and all the other aspects of my life. She's doing it.
Our next recipient is Nina Miriam Dixon, class of 24. Nina is a global development professional and TEDx speaker whose work is grounded in a commitment to inclusive growth, climate finance, and women's economic empowerment. Originally from Tanzania, her interest in development finance was shaped by early exposure to how access to capital and opportunity, particularly for women and small-scale entrepreneurs, can shape economic outcomes. A UWC alumna and presidential scholar at Queen's, Nina Miriam earned dual honor degrees in political economy and public health epidemiology. She was recognized as Emerging Leader of the Year for her academic excellence and leadership. She later completed postgraduate coursework in alternative economic and monetary systems at BOKU University in Vienna, Austria, and is currently completing a Master of Public Affairs at Brown University on a full-ride scholarship. Concentrating in data analysis and evidence-based policymaking. Her professional experience spans institutions at the intersection of finance, climate, and development, including the World Bank Treasury, the United Nations Foundation, and consulting for the Green Climate Fund. In these roles, she has supported sustainable and climate finance initiatives, conducted financial and policy analysis aligned with the UN Sustainable Development Goals, and participated in global policy forums such as the World Bank IMF annual meetings. That's a lot. Nina's question was, how did Queens help you find your voice, confidence, or sense of purpose during your time as a student? And this is her response. Queens helped me find my voice by giving me room to arrive as I was, and then daring me to grow beyond it. Coming in as an international student and the first WC graduate on campus, I often navigated spaces where I was learning when to speak, how to lead, and when to listen. Through roles that asked me to represent others, speak publicly, and hold responsibility for my community, I learned that my voice did not need to be perfected to be powerful. Queens showed me that my purpose lives at the intersection of service, global perspective, and courage, and that my story belongs in the room. Congratulations.
Just when I think it can't get any better. Maria Fernanda Garcia Castillo, class of 2024. Maria has been a dedicated healthcare advocate since the age of 16, beginning her career as a certified nurse assistant during the COVID pandemic, and later working in home health care with Medicare patients at the end of life. At Queens, she flourished as a leader and advocate, serving as president of Healthcare Justice at Queens and expanding her work into health policy and political advocacy. She went on to join the Board of Healthcare Justice North Carolina and represented Queens at Students for National Health Program, notably as the only representative from a university without a medical school. Throughout her undergraduate summers, Maria volunteered and worked with North Carolina Farm Workers Project, helping deliver free health care to farm workers and their families while collaborating with medical faculty and students from several North Carolina medical schools. She is currently completing a 2-year med service fellowship as an Army Corps member at the Community Free Clinic in Cabarrus County. She founded Project Red Cards, an initiative that educates individuals about their constitutional rights when approached by immigration authorities. Through this effort, she distributed more than 12,000 red cards across the Charlotte metro area, partnered with advocacy organizations, and reached over 150,000 people through media appearances and social platforms. Woo! Maria's got the answers to all the questions. Maria's question was there a faculty or staff member at Queens who made a lasting impact on you, and what did they help you see in yourself? And here's what Maria said. Every faculty and staff member at Queens left a lasting impression on my journey, helping me shape who I am today. One person that stands out, our very own Anita McGill, Assistant Dean of Student Engagement. Anita saw a leader in me before I saw it in myself, and challenged me to step beyond my comfort zone by encouraging me to serve as SGA president. Beyond leadership, she supported me through personal challenges with patience, grace, and unwavering belief. She taught me to advocate for myself, speak confidently, and remain firm through uncertainty. I need some advice. When I think of Queens, I think of Anita. Thank you for helping me discover my voice and the leader I was becoming.
Next up is Corey Jenkins, MT, MNT, earned her bachelor's degree in music therapy. Corey earned her bachelor's degree in music therapy from Queens, completing her academic coursework in December 2021 and her clinical internship at J.W. Ruby Memorial Hospital, after which she received her diploma in August of 22. She has been a board-certified music therapist serving the Charlotte region since 2022 and is currently employed with Piedmont Musical Therapy while pursuing her Master of Music Therapy at Duquesne. Sorry, y'all. Not a cup of coffee in my body yet, so we're going to extend some grace here. Since graduating from Queens, Corey has become a neurologic music therapy professional affiliate. She is preparing to launch a music therapy podcast this year dedicated to supporting interns, students, and early career professionals. Corey is a board member of the Music Therapy Association of North Carolina. She will also be presenting at the American Music Therapy Association's Southeastern Regional Conference in March. Corey's question was, what impact do you hope your work has on your industry, community, or the people you serve? Her response, as a music therapist, I hope my work helps people feel seen, heard, and valued in moments when words fall short. I strive to honor each individual's strength, identity, autonomy, and hope in every space I enter. If my work helps even one person feel more connected to themselves or less alone, then it has done what I hoped it will.
Claire Lechtenberg, class of 2017. Come on down. As Director of Development and Marketing, that's my favorite job, at the Independent Picture House, Charlotte's only nonprofit art house cinema. Claire has helped grow and retain the organization's donor base, double its grant success rate, and lead a $725,000 major gift campaign to expand its community footprint. Claire was named 2025 Outstanding Emergency Fundraising Professional by AFP Charlotte. We were there, we saw it. Recognizing her impact in building sustainable revenue and championing inclusive, mission-driven programming. She also represented as a featured speaker at Art House Convergence's 2025 National Conference and was accepted into the prestigious 2025 Art House Cinema Training Program in Berlin. Thank you, through the international. So Claire's question was, what is one Queens experience that continues to influence how you lead, work, or make decisions today? That's a good question. Her response was, my time at Queens taught me how to have powerful stories that can be in fostering connections with others. Whether it was sharing a poem in a Professor Creech's creative writing class, working on a persuasive speech for Professor Schaaf's public speaking class, studying with new peers for our exams freshman year, or even connecting with residents as an RA. I learned such dynamic ways to grow my storytelling and tell people where they are, meet people where they are. Today, I tap into this every time I share my organization's mission and impact with community members, meet with a supporter over a meal, or have the honor to present on behalf of the cinema. I'm grateful for the plethora of stories I was able to share and experience with my fellow Royals.
Keegan Rapp was not able to join us, but we are going to still honor Keegan. Keegan graduated from Queens with a degree in political science in 2021. During his time at Queens, he took a semester abroad with our JBIP program to Sweden and completed an internship at the Washington Center in Washington, D.C. Since graduation, he has been a two-time AmeriCorps volunteer, first as a team leader in AmeriCorps NCCC in Colorado with Habitat for Humanity, then as a local government fellow in Granville County, North Carolina with Lead for North Carolina. Keegan completed 2 years teaching English in Japan as a JET program assistant language teacher in Kagamosha. You gave me the hard words. Keegan's question, how did your Queens experience prepare you in ways you didn't realize at the time? Keegan's response, Queens gave me valuable opportunities to work with youth as an orientation leader, camp counselor, and tour guide. Small class sizes fostered meaningful discussions and strong relationships with professors, staff, and peers, which led to opportunities after graduation. The mandatory internship and career course also prepared me to be a confident professional and clarify my career and financial goals. Keegan's not here because he started his Peace Corps service in Albania. We wish him the best of luck.
And I believe this is 10 of 10. So this is going to be, we're going to end the show with a 10 of 10 after this one. Sydney, I got really excited, didn't I? Sydney Stepney, class of 2021. Sydney is from the ATL, Atlanta, Georgia. She earned her undergraduate degree magna cum laude from Queens, majoring in health sciences and a minor in public health, and was honored as the class of 2021 recipient of the Algernon Sidney Sullivan Award for Character, Leadership, and Service. She went on to earn her Master of Health Administration, again, magna cum laude, from The Ohio State University in 2023. Sydney completed a competitive 2-year administrative fellowship at Johns Hopkins Medicine, where she gained broad experience across clinical, operational, and strategic initiatives. She currently serves as program manager of the University of Texas Health Intelligence Platform and Texas Pharmaceutical Initiative. Her question: what advice would you give your younger self during your first year after graduation? Her response: I'd remind myself to meditate on Romans 8:28. Everything truly works together for your good. You worked hard and sacrificed so much during undergrad to get here. Now is the time to be bold, step out on faith, and leave nothing on the table as you navigate graduate school. I know leaving the community you built feels scary, but they remain part of your village in 2026 and beyond. Queens gave you a platform to lead and mentor. Stay true to those gifts and your heart for people. Run your own race. Release what no longer serves you. And trust this next chapter. You've got this, girl. You've set yourself apart from the start. I like it. There is no way you guys can leave here today and not be impressed. I mean, really, that is just incredible. And these folks have not even been out of school for 10 years. Oh my goodness. Wait until we recognize them as part of our next portion of this award ceremony. So right now we're going to move to the Alumnus Service Award. As we celebrate the incredible impact of our alumni, we now turn our attention to a truly special recognition, the Alumnus Service Award. You guys might kind of know we're kind of big on service here at Queens. You might know that. This honor is given to an alumnus who has demonstrated outstanding commitment to service, both within our university community and beyond. This year, we are proud to present the Alumnus Service Award to Chris Barlow, class of 2006. Chris and his wife, Perky, also an alum of 2008, live in Charlotte with their 4 children. Chris currently serves as vice president for a software development company while dedicating more than a decade to supporting children's health through Extra Life, a program of Children's Miracle Network that engages in the gaming community to raise funds for sick and injured kids. I'm getting ready to hand you, sorry, break time. That way you can. Chris has individually raised more than $60,000 for Levine Children's Hospital, coordinating digital engagement and content to elevate awareness of the needs of hospitalized children in the Charlotte region. He became the #1 individual Extra Life fundraiser in Charlotte. You know what they say, if you ain't first, you're last, right? I'm sorry? You know what they say, if you're not first, you're last, right? You're #1. More recently, Chris has partnered with Perky on a new fundraising effort supporting Hemby Children's Hospital as part of Novant, continuing their shared dedication in improving outcomes for children and families in their community. Please join me in congratulating Chris and welcoming him to the stage.
Thank you. Good morning. As you can see from this picture, I'm wearing the same clothes today. That's because I work from home, ergo these are the only nice clothes that I own. Let me first say that this honor belongs to so many people who have made 10 years of fundraising easy and possible. Chief among whom is my wife, Perky, who's here today, class of '08. I want to describe a feeling to you, a feeling that you've had before. When I came to Queens, I came for piano performance, and I studied for 2 years in this building. And so much has changed. It's very strange being in this room, actually. I used to practice drums right here a whole lot. I changed in my junior year, as one does, to information systems. So I changed to a music minor. At that point, I had to take, as a senior, introduction to music. Because as a major, I was exempted from it, but as a minor, not. Furthermore, there was such low enrollment in the class in my senior year that they canceled it here at Queens. So I took it through the consortium. So I was driving to UNCC once a week as a senior to take introduction to music, so that I could graduate. And big head on my shoulders, and I don't need to do this, it's so dumb and everything. But I'll tell you something I learned in that class. It's actually one of the very first classes. We talked about the technical definition of music. I'm about to blow your mind, I hope. Did you know that the definition of music is it's organized patterns of sounds and silence? That's what the definition is. So I organized this speech. Are we making music right now? Yeah. Maybe. That changed my mind about what it was to look at something for the first time and see it as beautiful as it is. Being able to view all these other 18-year-old kids, I was 22 at the time, so I was also a kid. But these freshmen taking this intro class and thinking, wow, they're really here because they're interested in just what is music all about? Here with me, I've gone through 3 semesters of music theory and pounded my way through all that, trying to, earn a degree in it, and failing, by the way. That's the feeling I had in 2016 when I was first told about Extra Life, where it's an annual 24-hour marathon of gaming to raise money for sick and injured kids. If you know me, you know that I love games. I always have. If you don't believe me, I'm wearing Mario socks right now. I'd be happy to show you that later. So when a friend told me that every year 15,000 people raise money for their local children's hospital by playing games, it was like understanding the point and power of games for the first time. And every year since, I've been raising money for Levine Children's Hospital just down the street by doing something I love. It's joyful work and wonderful gift. I'm about to speak some Latin, so take notes. The Queen's motto is non ministrari sed ministrare, not to be served, but to serve. The one who said that also said that we are to care for the least of these, the poor, the sick, the stranger. I think as we look around us today, it is not difficult to see the marginalized in our society, the vulnerable ones viewed with contempt. And if, like Tolkien wrote, you wonder to yourself, how shall any tower withstand such numbers and such reckless hate? I would encourage you to look at the things you love and want to share. Maybe not games or music, but what is precious to you, and allow yourself to imagine how it could be wielded to serve the least of these. Thank you.
Well said.
Now it is my great honor to present the Outstanding Alumnus Award for 2026, an award that celebrates a graduate who has demonstrated exceptional leadership, service, and professional excellence. This year, I am especially proud to present the 2026 Outstanding Alumna Award to a fellow classmate from 2001, Kat Crisp. Dr. Kat Crisp is a board certified in pelvic medicine and pelvic reconstructive surgery, as well as obstetrics and gynecology with Cincinnati Urogynecology Associates. Following a residency in obstetrics and gynecology at Wright State University in Dayton, Ohio, she completed 3 additional years of fellowship training in female pelvic medicine and reconstructive surgery at Good Samaritan Hospital in Cincinnati. Dr. Crisp is a member of the American Urogynecological Association, American College of Obstetrics and Gynecology, the Society of Gynecological Surgeons, and the Academy of Medicine of Cincinnati. She received the Dennis Barber Excellence in Academic Achievement Award and was twice nominated for the Arnold Gold Humanism and Excellence in Medicine Award. Dr. Crisp has twice won the prestigious President's Award given to the first place scientific manuscript at the Society of Gynecological Surgeons annual meeting. Most recently, she was nominated for Cincinnati's 2014 40 Under 40 and awarded first place for her presentation at the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists district meeting. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Crisp and welcoming her to the stage.
Good afternoon now, right? Morning, afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Standing here today, surrounded by people and the place that shaped me, I'm reminded of something powerful. We never arrive anywhere alone. Every accomplishment, every milestone, every award, including this one, is built on the encouragement, the support, and the investment of others. When I walked onto this campus in 1997, as a Queens freshman softball player and biology major, I had no idea how much this university would stretch me, challenge me, and ignite something fierce and powerful inside of me. At Queens, we say, as you've all heard, not to be served, but to serve. It's not just a motto, it's a compass, one that guides us long after graduation. It's one that I've followed all the way into my calling as a pelvic reconstructive surgeon. But the truth is, you don't need an operating room and a scalpel to live a life of impact. Every day, each one of us is creating our own impact and our own ripple effect. That's why I believe so deeply that to whom much is given, much is expected. If you've been given talent, use it. If you've been given opportunity, multiply it. And if you've been given support, give that support to someone else. Every single day, we have to pause and ask ourselves, what impact am I making? Because impact is not optional. We are making it, whether we realize it or not. The real challenge, the one Queens prepared us for, is to make that impact positive, intentional, and deeply human. Today's award is an honor, but it is also a reminder. Awards are symbols, a reflection of how people feel about the way that you have walked through the world. At the end of the day, people may forget what you said, but they will never forget how you made them feel. That is impact. That is legacy. And if I've learned anything, it's that none of us builds that legacy alone. The people you surround yourself with, your village, your pack, they shape you, they sharpen you. They push you to rise higher and serve deeper. My pack started back home in Tennessee and broadened right here with teammates who taught me grit, with coaches who taught me discipline, professors who taught me possibility, and friends and roommates who taught me unconditional support. So today, I don't stand here alone. I stand here with everyone who lifted me, challenged me, and supported me. To Queens University, I say, thank you for teaching us not just how to succeed, but how to matter. To my classmates and my teammates, thank you for being the foundation of my pack. And to all of the fellow alumni, let us continue to live lives not only that reflect our talents, but reflect our calling to serve. Because the world doesn't need just more successful people, It needs more impactful ones. Thank you.
I was going to keep it and use it. I thought it was so good, I could use it. All right, moving along, I know we're getting a little long, but I promise you, these folks deserve every minute, so I appreciate your patience. This year marks the inaugural Graduate Alumnus Achievement Award, which recognizes a graduate student alumnus who has demonstrated leadership and commitment to service in the community. As the first ever recipient, we are proud to present this award to Christopher Dennis, EMBA, class of 2016. Christopher is a real estate developer, entrepreneur, community builder, and sought-after international inspirational speaker. A proud graduate of Queens, he has spent more than 15 years strengthening historically underserved communities through thoughtful development, mentorship, and expanded access to opportunity. Founder and principal of eFix Development Corp., Christopher has led revitalization efforts across Charlotte's corridors of opportunity, transforming underutilized commercial sites into neighborhood anchors that bring essential services, small businesses, and stable employment back to overlooked communities. Beyond development, Christopher is the founder of Community Dream Builders, a nonprofit focused on youth empowerment, small business incubation, and community-driven revitalization in Charlotte's historic West End. He also created Real Estate and Roast, a weekly education platform that has generated an estimated $6 million in economic community impact in just 1 year. Christopher, congratulations.
Thank you so much. It had to happen the way it happened, so that when it happened, you can always say, "But God."
Let me make sure.
Did y'all hear that? I'll tell you, Queens is a part of a journey for me, but it's also a part of my legacy. I'll tell you a story for those in the audience that really understand the impact that Queens had on my life, because my life has not been very typical. See, I started from a resource class. From the 1st to the 6th grade, they told me I never learned like the average kid, and I was always told what I couldn't do, but never what I could do. My sister that sits in the audience today always told me that she believed in me. That helped change and shape my life. From that resource class, I went on to graduate top 10% of my class, and then going into the military, where I spent 22 years and had the opportunity to fly one of the fastest planes on the planet, an F-16. I went on from there to lead Bank of America's trading floor for 13 years, running their technology department in the market data, which is a trading environment. I did that for 13 years. Now, something happened in the end of my career at Bank of America. While I was at Bank of America, I decided to get an MBA at a prestigious college called Queens University. When I did that, I never knew that Queens would change my life, because within 2 years of getting that degree, in the process of getting that degree, I decided to leave Bank of America. Not because I wasn't having an impact at Bank of America, but Queens instilled in me more about community and having an impact and driving impact in the community. I left Bank of America to basically follow my passion and dreams. I'll never forget Bill Berry gave me a challenge while sitting in his class. He said, if you have a model around community, and if you could take that model and turn it into a business strategy that could change an environment, come to the board and draw it for us. In that class were leaders that run some of our companies today, like Ally Bank, the CEO of Ally Bank. And I decided I would go to that board and I would draw a model that was inside of me. And I drew a model with the X and Y axis. But I said, Bill, before I finish, there's another line I need to add. That line was people in the community. That day I described a model that I live today. And I formulated a company called eFix Development Corp. eFix Development Corp started out of the mindset, how do we drive change in the community? How do I continue to make an impact? How do I ensure that that kid from a resource class, like you've heard before, could not only be intentional, but also be impactful? Within 8 years, eFix Development Corp. Now owns a little bit over 100 plus homes. We also went into development, driving the city of Charlotte's corridors of opportunity, where we're leading the charge with 2 classical developments on the corner of Beatty-Ford Road, the Chase Bank development and also the TD Bank development. Here's the funny thing about God. He'll take you out of one bank and give you 2. But my story didn't end there, because sitting in that classroom with Queens, because I really want to bring home what was the difference in Queens than any other college I've ever been to. All of my professors poured into me, not only an educational background and a business acumen, but all of them gave personal experiences from the companies they had led before. That was the leadership that I needed. I needed to see leaders who had done it before that could guide me along the pathway and give me real-world experiences, and they did that. Everything from Bill Berry, who taught me about the decision tree that changed my life, to Kathy Anderson, who taught me about the legal legalities by giving me an illustration of a ladder and making sure that you stay out of the bottom part where trouble existed when you start your business and development. To Nancy McNellis, when I walked on the campus of Queens, I told her an idea that I wanted to go to a prestigious college and get an MBA, and she said the 3 words my sister said to me earlier in my life: I believe in you. That's how I got to Queens. But I told you this wasn't just a journey for me. It was also part of my legacy. Because see, my son Christopher Isaiah that sits here today went to Queens and graduated from Queens. Give him a round of applause. So I'll leave you with this. Today I've learned that I stand on the shoulders of giants. Queens not only taught me about community, but it gave me the business acumen to launch a business that now is changing the face of Charlotte, but also international, because we own a fish farm in Tanzania, fish farm in Mombasa, and working on housing in Tanzania. This is an effort of what we can do when we empower not only our communities, but also believe in schools and leaders who change our lives. Thank you so much to the staff. Thank you so much to my family that's here today and all the friends that did the 3 things that changed my life from that resource class. They said, I believe in you. Thank you.
As we continue, it's my great privilege to present the Honorary Alumna Award, an award given to an individual who, while not a graduate of Queens, has demonstrated an extraordinary commitment to our university and its mission. This year, we are proud to present this award to Sarah Fatherly. Dr. Fatherly is the Chief Operations Officer, Provost, and Vice President for Academic Affairs for Queens, overseeing all academic programs and services. With over 2 decades of experience in higher education administration, Dr. Fatherly joined Queens in 2012 as an Associate Provost and Dean of University Programs, providing a renewed focus on student success and retention initiatives before subsequently moving to the provost role in 2017. With leadership transitions, she recently stepped in as the university's Chief Operations Officer, a role that includes oversight of all campus operations and management of the senior leadership team. She earned a BA from Gustavus Adolphus College, an MA and PhD in U.S. History from the University of Wisconsin-Madison, with specializations in early American and women's history. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Fatherly.
Thanks, Sean. I appreciate that. And thanks, Lorianne. It's my pleasure to accept this honor, and I really, really do appreciate it. I think for those of you who know me, I've been here more than a minute, and I've done a lot of things at this university, some of which I still don't know how I ended up doing. But it's been my privilege and my honor to be at this institution for, more than a minute. I came here in 2012, as Sean suggested. So the one story I wanted to share with you all is actually about how I came to Queens. So I am a career higher ed professional. As Sean suggested, I'm actually trained as a history professor, and earlier in my career ended up moving into administration, as sometimes happens. When it turns out you're good at that, you end up being your department chair and program directors and deans. And so I was minding my own business in 2012. I was sitting in my office. I was an associate vice president of academic affairs at the time at Otterbein University. It's in Columbus, Ohio. Institution that feels and moves a lot like Queens, just a little bit bigger. And my phone rang, and you know, in the way that sometimes can happen in higher ed, we were all very excited because we had new phones. These are landlines, friends. And they had caller ID boxes, and we were like, yeah, I can finally tell who I should screen out. So I saw someone's name pop up, and it's someone who I had worked for before in my career. I considered to be a mentor and a friend. And so I picked up the phone, and the person was like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, hi, we haven't chatted in a while, what's going on? And my colleague and mentor says to me, I've got a job you need to look at. Are you on the market? I'm like, no, I'm not on the market. I'm fine. He's like, no, I have a job you need to look at. I'm like, I don't need to look at a job. He's like, I'm gonna send you a job. I'm like, don't send me a job. I'm fine. Any of you who knew GP, he was our provost at the time in 2012. He can be incredibly charismatic and persistent. So I was like, fine, send me your job. So he sends me this job, and it's an advertisement for the associate provost job that Sean just, sort of called out. And so basically it was sort of being the second to the chief academic officer at the time. So he's like, you need to read the job. You need to apply for the job. I'm like, I don't need to apply. I'm fine. I end up applying for the job. So I come to Queens. I didn't know anything about Queens. Came here for the interview, and spent really about a day and a half. This is what happens for these job interviews, as Jesse and others know, right? So spent about 2 days here, had never been to Charlotte, had never been on this campus, didn't know Queens. Got back home, talked to the people in my life. They're like, so what do you think? Because again, I wasn't on the job market, and I really hadn't been planning to make a transition. And they're like, so what do you think? And I was like, well, shoot, that was really interesting. I'm like, this is a really interesting place. And one of the things that struck me about the place, actually, is that, and again, these long interview days that we do in higher ed, I said, you know, every single person I met on that campus interview, from the student who gave me the tour around campus, to the deans, or the members at that time of senior leadership who I met with, or the staff who I would be the supervisor for, every single one of them consistently over 2 days talked about the idea of not to be served but to serve. And I'm like, I've been in higher ed more than a minute, and there is no way on a college campus you can actually get everybody on message, because that only happens in corporate. You can't do that in higher ed. So I was like, well, that's really interesting. That tells me something really interesting and profound about the DNA of this Institute of Higher Education. And so, you know, I ended up getting offered the job, and I ended up taking the job, and here I still am. And the job that I am in as our chief academic officer right now, the average shelf life of a provost is 4 years. And I'm in my 9th year, and y'all haven't shown me the bus stop yet, for which I am grateful. But it truly is work that at its best is rewarding, right, and joyful. And this ceremony today is a great example of this, because really my job, it doesn't matter what my title is, what my job is here at Queens is to provide an environment in which all of you talented people can become the next best versions of yourself and create your stories and your successes, which we've been hearing about this morning, right? That's actually what my job is to have an environment on this campus where those things are possible, right? Where you can unlock not just who you are, but who you will be. And in that spirit, it's my great pleasure to accept this award this year. So thank you all very much.
Sarah's such a fabulous colleague, and I should have brought tissues. And finally, we saved our most prestigious award for our wrap-up today. Among the many honors we celebrate today, there is one that stands above the rest, the Sed Ministrare Award. This is the highest distinction bestowed by the Alumni Association Board. This award recognizes an individual who exemplifies our university's motto, altogether, non ministrare, sed ministrare, not to be served, but to serve, through a life dedicated to service. This year, on behalf of the Alumni Association Board, we are proud to present this award to Kathy Parks Lovner, class of 1971. Kathy Parks Lovner was a Dean's List student at Queens and served as student government class representative. After graduation, she spent many years in Washington, D.C. working for a congressman. Throughout her adult life, Kathy has remained deeply connected to Queens through leadership, philanthropy, serving on the Board of Trustees, and providing generous financial support. Kathy and her husband, David, have made substantial contributions to the university, including support for the renovation of the Fine Arts Center, where a gallery bears their name. She was instrumental in establishing the Class of 1971 scholarship, and this year helped secure its endowment. For several years, Kathy and David also hosted the Queens New York City Travel Group and fellow alumni at the University Club, strengthening alumni engagement in the New York City area. Beyond Queens, Kathy has been active in her Princeton community, serving on the Princeton University Art Museum Advisory Council and on the Board of Trustees of the boarding school she attended prior to coming to Queens. She also played a key role in establishing the teaching garden adjacent in Morrison Hall, right outside, in memory of classmate Betsy Lieblich, I'm not sure I got that right, in honor of a biology professor's request that donated funds to be used for this purpose. Always willing to help plan for the future of Queens, Kathy is richly deserving of this recognition on her 55th reunion. Congratulations.
Well, I just want to start by saying I'm totally in awe of all the young people that came up here today. And if anybody doubted that Queens was doing things right, I think that's dispelled today. So thank you all. When Nancy Ralston called me to tell me that I was getting this award, I was shocked, totally surprised, and I'm humbled. Thank you. I also want to thank the members of my class who evidently nominated me. And I want to thank those classmates who worked really hard to make the class of 1971 scholarship possible. You deserve to share in this award. So the award recognizes community service. So since hearing that I was getting the award, I spent some time thinking about all the various organizations that I've been involved with and realized that there was one through line, and that was education. And some of these were not so obvious. My first volunteer job when I moved to Princeton was as the Voter Services Chair for the League of Women Voters. So I was responsible for organizing the candidates forums and for putting together voter guides so that voters would be educated before the election, something we could use a lot of today. And the thing I mostly spend my time on today is I'm a docent at the Princeton University Art Museum, so it's a great pleasure to take guests through the museum and guide them so they can understand what the artist was trying to accomplish with a piece of art. So one of the highlights of my volunteer experiences that was certainly serving on the Queens Board of Trustees. It was a fantastic experience to be able to come back on campus after so many decades and to see how Queens had changed during those times. So 55 years ago, Queens, of course, was a women's college, and it was a college. It was not granting advanced degrees, and there were no professional programs. My class, the class of 1971, had the first black woman to graduate from Queens. So happily, it's nice to see how diverse Queens is today. Sports. So sports were almost non-existent. Sorry, Peyton. on campus. We had tennis and we had synchronized swimming. There was no mascot, there was no team name, no Royals, none of that. So it's nice to have sports on campus too. But one thing that hasn't changed is something that people have talked a lot about, and that's the values that Queens instills in its students. After all of these years, going through this, I realized that I have been living Queen's motto, not consciously, but had learned not to be served, but to serve. And I've learned that service really is the reward. And thank you for this honor.
As we conclude today's celebration, I want to take a moment to thank each of you for being here and for all that you do for Queens. We look ahead to Qunited, and we invite you to continue showing up for Queens in a tangible way through your participation and support for our current students. Every gift and every act of engagement helps create scholarship opportunities, it helps to strengthen programs, it helps to expand opportunities that will allow today's Royals to truly thrive. The awards were presented today recognize more than achievements. They celebrate the enduring impact of alumni who carry the Queen's spirit into every corner of their lives. Everyone's accomplishments, leadership, and commitment to service continue to inspire our students, our community, and each other. Thank you so much for being a part of this special day, and thank you for being part of the Royal family. We look forward to seeing all of the ways you will continue to make an impact in the years ahead. And with that, we conclude, but I do want to remind our winners to stay for some photos. Thank you so much for being here.